The Awakening of Aurora Morningstar. Scene 1. Heartfelt Cry. A hidden chamber buried beneath the weave of realms, a realm that does not exist, suspended in silence. Cracked stone, runes long dead. The space hums with ancient dread, and a pulse begins to stir. There are places so old the stars themselves do not speak of them. And in one such place, beneath a vault of rusted runes and forgotten bones, she sleeps. A slow, rhythmic heartbeat begins, distant wind, faint sparkles of magic shifting. Not dead, not alive, hidden, sealed, feared. For she was not made of obedience or light. She was born of wildfire, of two who were never meant to create. And her name was burned from history. A small attic on Earth, the human girl whispers a desperate incantation from a crumbling book. Her candle flickers. Human girl whispering. I call to the silence between shadows. I ask for the truth I was never given. I summon validation. I summon anyone. Crack. The veil tears. Back in the sealed chamber. A flicker. Her fingers twitch. It should not have been enough. A plea like that, so small, so human. But she was listening, even in sleep, because the girl didn't ask for power. She asked for truth, and truth is her domain. Then wings unfurling, stone crumbling. Her eyes snap open, violet fire in them. Air rushes in like she's gasping through centuries. Aurora, horse, first words. She called me. A mirror shard nearby shows the girl's face. She's beautiful in a way that's breaking. Sad eyes, hope and ruin. Aurora, softly, voice trembling with something ancient. I know her, I know that ache. I've felt it inside me before. Sudden pulse of energy. A crack in the realm. Alarms of the realms begin. A deep, warlike hum beneath. The realms feel her stirring. They remember what they buried. And they know, if Aurora Morningstar touches the girl, if love takes root, if their souls recognize each other, all rewritten lies unravel. Aurora, rising, voice growing steady. They thought they could silence me. But love remembers what history forgets. She steps through the broken veil, toward the human girl, as reality begins to scream. Scene 2. The first meeting. And still, she came. Faint wind chimes sound somewhere, a low hum of ancient magic pulsing beneath like a heartbeat. T. The room did not tremble when she arrived. No thunder split the sky. The world simply exhaled her into being. She did not knock. She did not speak. She unfolded from the air itself, like dusk peeling from the horizon, like a secret finally remembering its own name. And when the girl turned, when she saw her, time bruised around the edges. Because beauty like this was never made to walk among mortals. It was made to ruin gods. She stood in the doorway, as if the shadows obeyed her. Black hair like raven feathers soaked in oil, falling wild across shoulders sculpted by rebellion. Crimson wings with obsidian blades folding behind her spine. Eyes, not eyes, but portals, flickering with the violet glow of storms remembered by no world. And her voice, oh, her voice. When it came, it tasted like forbidden honey. Smoky. Divine. A voice that had kissed fire and never asked for forgiveness. Aurora, low, rich, but aching. I heard you. You whispered into the dark, and something ancient shuddered in me. The girl, fragile and flickering in candlelight, could not speak. Not from fear, but because her entire body was unraveling. Her soul was waking up, and it was waking up screaming her name. Human girl whisper. Who, what are you? Aurora, stepping closer, her words trailing heat. I am the truth they buried. The storm they swore would never rise again. And you are the reason I remember. Narration simmering now. The space between them was not space at all. It was gravity. It was pressure. It was the ache between inhale and exhale, between not touching and touching, where love ignites and ruin begins. Aurora, voice catching with hunger and sorrow. If I kiss you, this world will collapse into its true shape. The lies will unravel. The stars will turn against us. Human girl, a breath, trembling. Then let the stars burn. They did not kiss, but their souls did. Flesh held still, barely. But everything beneath skin reached, recognized, worshipped. And when their hands brushed, just fingers grazing fingers, the candlelight shattered, not from violence, but from truth. Somewhere the realms howled. The law screamed, because love was never meant to wake her. And yet, still she came. Scene 3. The naming. You were always mine. Her lips barely parted, but the sound carved itself into the fabric of the air. Aurora whispered, not with voice alone, but with memory, with the aching echo of lifetimes torn apart. Aurora, a whisper woven in silk and stars. Athena. The girl froze. Her name, spoken like a hymn long buried, sank into her chest like a blade made of longing. She had never told her. Couldn't have. But Rory knew, because Rory didn't just see her. She remembered her. Aurora, stepping so close their breath tangled. You've worn 1,000 faces, but you've always been mine. Athena, voice breaking. How do you know me? Aurora, smiling with sorrow and flame. Because I am you, and you are me. Split apart by fear, bound by blood, and born to devour the sky together. Scene 4. The realm responds. Let her burn. A sudden shift. High tension. Ominous horns in the background. The room fractures. Ripples of violet and gold lightning cutting across dimensions. A breach. An alarm. A reckoning. The air cracked open. They had been seen. The veil, thin, wounded, began to scream. And from its depths came the Watchers. The wardens of unmaking. The ones who swore Rory would never rise again. Aurora, her eyes darkening, wings stretching wide. They come to end what should never have begun. Athena, but why? Why us? Aurora, turning, eyes glowing ice white. Because love is truth, and truth terrifies the gods. From her back, fiery crimson wings unfurled, their edges flickering blue and black. But between the flames, ice crystallized. Deadly, razor-sharp blades forged from betrayal and wrath. Each feather a weapon. Each beat a threat to creation itself. These were no angel's wings. They were forged in the pit of her unjust prison. They were made for vengeance. And when she took flight, realms bled. An explosion of wind, screaming metal. Ethereal war horns. Wing beats like thunder. Scene 5. The chase begins. Bleed the sky. She lifted Athena into her arms. Not gently, but with purpose. Not a rescue. A reclaiming. They tore through worlds, shattering starlight and shadow alike. As the wardens followed, wrathful, winged, wielding law like a dagger. But Rory was no longer bound by law. She was law. Aurora, snarling as she throws a blade of ice mid-flight. You will not cage me again. She fought like a storm reborn. Each wingbeat froze rivers midair. Each cry melted iron skies. And in her arms, Athena wept, not in fear, but in the aching terror of remembering the cost of their last fall. Athena, clutching her. If we fall again. Aurora, locking eyes. Then let us fall, but this time together. Somewhere far below, a crack appeared in the thread of reality. A place whispered in prophecy. A realm not ruled, but sealed, where love like theirs could not just survive, but awaken the truth of all creation. A realm where blood binds more deeply than time. Silence. One final breath. Scene 6. The blood realm, where truth sleeps. A deep, low hum, light cracking of ice. Somewhere far below, a crack appeared in the thread of reality. A place whispered in prophecy. A realm not ruled, but sealed, where love like theirs could not just survive, but awaken the truth of all creation. Aurora, low, ominous, yet almost tender. This place is where the truth sleeps, where I was meant to die. She didn't say it like a warning. She said it like a promise. Because in this place, the rules would break. And when their blood mingled, everything would change. An explosion of wind, as though the very air is bending around them. And they both knew the blood would spill soon, whether it was theirs or the realms that would fall before them. And when it did, their bond would be sealed. And with it, the fate of all things. Part 2, The Rite of Becoming, the Ritual's Preparation. Scene I, the blood-marked moon, sensual tension, ancient rites. Fate begins to stir beneath the skin. Low hum of ancient female chants, a single heartbeat echoing, a storm building in reverse, strings slowly unraveling, a crimson moon bleeding over a stone temple suspended between worlds. Fireflies swirl, shadows curl. Aurora Morningstar walks barefoot over obsidian stone, her breath turning to frost. Before the fire came the ice. Before the kiss, the cut. All stories begin in silence and end in the scream of choosing. Soft wind layered with low, humming female voices. A single echo of a bell ringing from the other world. Rory's silhouette, dark, angular, divine, trails fire with every step. Her ice blades shimmer at her hips, folded like wings. Her eyes, pure void. Rory whispered, reverent. Athena. Her voice cracks like lightning across glass. You called me, without knowing. You tore a hole through time with your ache, and I slipped through. Aurora Morningstar, once erased, now breathes. The spell, foolish and incomplete, was enough to stir the ancient binding. Her soul marked the human girls before time remembered its own shape. Now, fate begins to weep. A circle of blood blossoms beneath Rory's feet as she kneels before an altar of bones carved with forgotten names. Her wings slowly unfurl. Fire on one side, glacial daggers on the other. Rory chanting, If you hear me, soul of mine, walk through the ash and kiss the line. Bring blood, bring breath. Bring skin to flame. Let the realms remember her name. A sudden silence, then a low, wet whisper of breath. Aurora? Athena's silhouette flickers in the mirror-world reflection of the altar. Her hand reaches through the glass, a human girl with a lion's courage and sorrow-wet eyes. Athena, soft, broken. I've dreamed you. Since before dreaming. Why do I know your face like it's mine? Because the gods lied. Because their fear wrote new scriptures in blood. Because love, true love, is the spell no realm can ever contain. The glass between worlds melts, like frost on skin touched by longing. Rory, a whisper, trembled and edged with reverence. You were never meant to find me, and yet you bled the skies to call me home. Athena, through the veil, voice cracked open by awe. You wear my ache like you were born from it. I feel you in my lungs, my dreams, my sins. A slow inhale, the sound of glass cracking. Their fingers reach through the veil, just a breath apart. Sparks bloom where their palms nearly meet. The realms hiss. One touch, one kiss, and history burns. Not just of men, but gods, beasts, and time itself. Rory, voice breaking. If I touch you, they will come. If I kiss you, everything dies. Athena, calm, fierce. Then let it die. Let it all burn. But don't leave me starving for what was always mine. A slow pull-in, Rory's lips just above Athena's ghosted knuckles. She doesn't kiss, but the air between them turns to flame. Wind rising. Something ancient stirring beneath. Rory, low, devastating. Athena, my name lives in the hollow behind your heart. I would burn all the heavens for one breath shared between us. A single high violin note like a scream swallowed. Thunder cracking like bone. The veil pulses. This fever will not pass, it will consume. Scene 2. The interruption. When the gods remember what they buried. The moment they almost touch, almost join, shattered. The realms strike back. Love becomes danger. Truth claws through the veil. Low thunder. Dissonant strings. A sudden stillness broken by a choir of shadows, eerie, feminine, distorted in beauty. The mirror altar shudders. The veil between them fractures. Aurora's fire dims, the frost rising too fast. Athena's image flickers like a candle's last breath. And just as skin met soul, the world remembered its lie. A ripping, metallic sound, like the sky tearing open. A scream muffled in time. Dark sigils ignite around Rory's feet. Black vines, thorned and humming, coil up from the temple floor. They do not bind her. They try to erase her. Athena, panicked. Rory, what's happening? I can't see you, your eyes. Rory, snarling, wings half unfurled. They found me. The thrones. The watchers. The weavers of the lie. From the air itself, a blinding white figure appears, a seraphim commander, faceless, draped in ghost light. The echo of a voice, like static and hymns. Seraphim, cold, absolute. Aurora Morningstar. You were unmade by decree of the realms. This breach violates eternal order. Rory growling, ice blades sliding free with a hiss. Then you shouldn't have let her call my name. You knew I would come if she spoke it. You made me her echo. Wings of fire unfurling, slicing the wind. Ice crackling underfoot. Rory rises in defiance. The tips of her wings, molten flame and crystallized frost, stretch wide. The temple cracks beneath her. They bound her once in sleep. But now she wakes armed with hunger. Not for war. For her. Athena, reaching through the breaking mirror, voice trembling with rage. Don't let them take you. Don't let them steal what we are. Rory, eyes glowing, voice like fire licked over steel. Let them try. Let them all bleed beneath the name they buried. I am Aurora Morningstar, and she is mine. Sound of a sword drawn from light. Screams carried by wind. The sky bleeding into a new hue, twilight caught in mid-birth. Choir explodes. Storm drums. The sound of flame colliding with judgment. Scene 3. The moment of choice. Let me burn, but let me be hers. Every being ever forged by light and shadow now watches. Rory must decide, obey the laws of realms, or shatter them. Athena's heartbeat is her drum of war. One step toward her will rewrite history. One kiss will end every lie ever told. Single piano note, repeated like a heartbeat. Distant chants. Metallic echoes like chains slipping from bone. Rory floats midair in a cathedral of smoke and starlight. The mirror has turned into a doorway, but it crackles unstable. Athena stands in it, glowing with the warmth of belief. The seraphim circle overhead. Every breath Rory takes sends heat across dimensions. She was made to forget. They sculpted her absence into law. But love is a weapon memory can't kill. Rory, to Athena, hoarse and divine. If I step through this breach, I won't come as a whisper or shadow. I'll come as fire, and fire devours. Athena, tears shimmering in her voice. Then let me burn beside you. Let the world scream. Just don't leave me in the silence you were buried in. Rory's wings are fully extended now, each feather tipped in frost and molten flame. Her eyes drip gold. Her heartbeat is seismic. The shatter of chains breaking in celestial pitch. Seraphim, desperate, furious. Aurora, do not make this choice. Love is the most dangerous lie of all. We rewrote history to save the realms. Rory, turning, voice velvet and venom.
No.
You rewrote history to hide your cowardice. You caged me to silence the proof that even your light bends when touched by love. And so she chose. Rory steps forward. The veil erupts in flame. Athena opens her arms, ready, waiting, radiant. Silence, so loud it suffocates. Then a gasp. The breath of fate changing. Rory, as she falls into Athena's arms. I am not their sin. I am your beginning. Choir of broken wings. The earth cracks. The heavens reel. The stars rearrange. The realms trembled. The sky rewrote its colors. And in that one forbidden embrace, Truth was reborn. Scene 4. The twist in the realms. She who was forgotten now wakes. In binding themselves to each other, Rory and Athena stir a force older than the realms, a being erased so completely that her name only exists in the tremble of dying stars. She is the first lie, the last truth, and the mother of consequence. And now she rises. Distorted strings, deep breaths, ancient voices murmuring backward. Then silence so pure it makes the bones ache. A ripple spreads from Rory and Athena's embrace, circular, cosmic. The stars freeze. Time hiccups. The realms flicker like flame near extinction. When truth is touched by love, the forgotten remember themselves. The sound of metal grinding, but under it a heartbeat too slow to belong to any living thing. The sky cracks, not lightning, but the skin of existence splitting. From it, a figure emerges, cloaked in black that swallows light. No face, only a mouth, stitched shut with time itself. Athena whispers, "Rory, something's watching. I feel her, like she was part of me once, like she made us." Rory, eyes narrowing, blades retracted, voice quiet. "No." They buried her because she saw what love could do, because she gave it form. She is origin. Stitching thread snapping. One by one, mouth begins to open. The origin, voice like lullabies and storms. "I birthed the realms from longing. I was cut out when they feared the ache of unity. But now you burn for each other. You call me home." She, the forgotten goddess, the seamstress of want, stirs awake inside the souls of two lovers and the worlds, once sure of their shape, now weep at the edges. Rory and Athena rise, hands clasped. A second heartbeat begins in the void, the origin's heart sinking with theirs. Shadows and light coil around them. Seraphim command, terrified, "Do not listen to her. She is unmaking. She is the lie that seduced the gods." Rory, smiling with fangs of flame, "No. She is the part of us you could never kill. The hunger you denied. The love you tried to bury." Athena, to origin. What happens now? The origin, soft, slow, cruelly beautiful. "Now you finish what I began. You devour the lie. And if the world cannot bear your truth, then let it drown in it." Choral voices in a language lost. The screen shatters into molten color. Scene V. Blood to bind, fire to free. The binding of flame and shadow. The climax unfolds, a sacred rite that demands blood not for sacrifice, but for truth. Only by binding their souls through blood can Rory and Athena exist beyond law, beyond death, beyond the fractured lie of the realms. But the act will awaken what the origin kept buried even from herself, a final guardian, the last face of denial. A slow-burning drumbeat beneath melancholic violin. Distant thunder rolls. A woman's voice hums a lullaby with no words, just ache. A ring of black flame encircles Rory and Athena, floating above a ruin of stars. The origin stands behind them, watching, her face still hidden. The blade appears, forged of Rory's fire, cooled by Athena's tears. The binding blade. To become what was denied, they must cut open what binds them, not each other's skin, but each other's truth. Rory, voice shaking, wings extended wide. "This blood is not pain. It's memory. It's us, before they lied." Athena, offering her hand, voice full of storm. "Then take me. Bind us with the part of me I've never given, not even to myself." The blade hums. As it passes through both their palms, it draws not just blood, but light. It bleeds memories, other lives, moments stolen. A kaleidoscope of echoes, Rory and Athena in 1,000 unlived lives. Lovers, enemies, queens, rebels. Every time, drawn together, every time, torn apart. Rory, choking back fire. "We were always supposed to find each other." Athena, smiling through tears. "Then let this be the last time we rise, and the first time they don't tear us down." The blood seals midair, forming a sigil that bursts into crimson flame. The origin soft breaking. You have done it. You have unwritten the lie. Now choose. But no ending is without its cost. A guardian stirs, born of the last thread of denial. It wears the face of the one Rory could never strike down. Her own reflection, corrupted by fear. A mirror shatters behind them. From it emerges the other Rory. All ice, no fire.
Her wings are bone.
Her eyes, dead galaxies. She speaks with Rory's voice but soulless. The other Rory, cold. You would rewrite it all? For love that was never meant to bloom? I was made to protect the balance, even if it means killing myself. Rory, raising her blades, trembling. Then let the real me burn you away. The final battle erupts. Blades, heat, thunder. Athena's scream splits the sky. The origin weeps as light and shadow clash. Searing vocals. Percussion like falling towers. Wind rushing backwards. Then silence. And when the ash cleared, there stood only one Rory, blood-marked, flame-winged, and loved by the girl, who broke the realms for her. Athena, smiling, hand to Rory's cheek. They'll tell stories of this, you know. Or maybe they won't. But we'll know. Rory, eyes glowing, pulling Athena close. Let them forget us. We were never meant to be remembered, only felt. A new star is born behind them. No name, just warmth. And in a place no map could hold, love built a realm of its own, stitched not from law or memory but from blood, fire, and forever.
Epilogue.
The quiet after the realms. Love after war, flame after frost, and two hearts whispering where no gods dare listen. A piano, slow and reverent. A cello joins, playing notes that sound like forgiveness. A floating island in a twilight sky. Flowers that bloom with memories. Rory and Athena, bare of armor, bare of fear, lying side by side beneath a tree that glows with their joined blood. The realms are distant stars now, mute, watching. They didn't want thrones. They didn't want names carved in stone. Only each other, whole, unhidden, free. Athena, soft laughter, tracing Rory's cheek. Do you think they'll ever find us? Rory, eyes half-lidded, voice low and warm. They'd have to look where they buried truth. And none of them are brave enough to go there. Wind rustles through leaves made of silvered fire. Their hands entwine. So they made a home where time bowed, where night did not threaten, and where nothing existed unless it loved. The tree above them pulses softly, each branch a memory reawakened. No longer hidden, no longer cursed. Athena, smiling. What do we call this place? Rory, kissing her fingers. Ours. A heartbeat, vast and slow, like the universe, sighing in relief. And so flame and shadow became one, not as legends, not as rebels, but as two women who burned a lie away, just to taste the truth on each other's lips. Stillness. Then the faint sound of a kiss. Let them forget us. We remember. Breathe now, my love. You made it to the center of the storm and found poetry curled inside the silence. They didn't want thrones. They didn't want names carved in stone. Only each other. Whole, unhidden, free. Crackle of a distant campfire. Wind weaving through silver branches. Athena, soft laughter. Do you think they'll ever find us? Rory, warm, husky voice. They'd have to look where they buried truth. And none of them are brave enough to go there. The glowing tree pulses with blood-red light. So they made a home where time bowed, where night did not threaten, and where nothing existed unless it loved. Leaves shimmering, fireflies drifting like ash. Athena, softly. What do we call this place? Rory, kissing her fingers, voice a near whisper. Ours. A heartbeat, deep, slow, thunderous with peace. Stars blinking into place around them, as if finally allowed to witness. And so flame and shadow became one. Not as legends, not as rebels, but as two women who burned a lie away, just to taste the truth on each other's lips. Let them forget us. We remember.
Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel.
See you in the next video.